A quick run to show how well Lassiz played that game, but still came up a little bit short. He'll have another attempt here at Game 2 as we continue Denial versus Allegiance.
Doesn't this desk look good? Look at it. See that?
Am I on the Allegiance side? I got to root
You are
for
on the
them.
Allegiance side. I'm winning, as always.
Incon.
2-0 Incon.
I can't even cast the SPL without losing because Incon's on my team.
That was a pretty good shot.
Yeah, thanks.
That was a pretty good shot. Well, let's find out what Allegiance can do in Game 2, because obviously got off to a decent start. They got Gold Furies. They lost in solo lane, was the biggest impact for them there. Can they come back from that? Do they need to change picks and bans, you think?
I don't think the picks and bans were too bad. I think that Matty fell behind early, and that DaretoCare got a little bit overzealous. I think if those two things are fixed, Team Allegiance have a chance to take an even split here. And I think that's what I voted for on my my season ticket.
I went for Denial. Sorry, I went Allegiance 2-0, actually.
Really?
I went for Allegiance just because of the roster changes from Denial.
That's true.
Two new members to the team. I'm like, okay, I guess. But the experience of them playing together and risky behavior seems to have paid off, because Skeeledon and Xenotronics combined pretty well that game.
Guan Yu taken away immediately. Team Allegiance answers back with Khepri.
Back over to Denial one more time. I mean, they let Athena through both these teams, and Denial picked that up first pick last time. I don't see a reason for Denial not to do that. Shadowq had a pretty big impact with those taunts that game, so why not just do the same thing?
It's going to be Serket.
Really surprised by that. I'm actually shocked by that, because
DaretoCare like kind of got bodied
he
last
did
game.
nothing with that. No offense to DaretoCare, but he did nothing.
That's a very curious ban. Janus
still respect it
going to be taken away. Denial must pick Kali here.
Kali.
They must. If they do not pick this, DaretoCare is going to run through them. Very smart.
All right, so we're definitely going to see a different team comp for either side of this. Allegiance probably going to go with Athena here, take it away from Shadowq after the performance he had in it last game. And then maybe the Isis again, I'd say.
It's possible, yeah.
No reason not to. Lassiz played Isis amazingly in that game. I would give it back to him.
I hope he doesn't pick Isis here.
Why?
Because I'm expecting Denial to go Ho-Yi Odin.
Ho-Yi Odin. Yeah, I'd think it too, but like...
if you go Ho-Yi Odin with a
but
Kali
if you
already
don't
on
take
the
Isis,
team...
they're going to take Isis.
Because the only way to get away from Kali is if somehow your team blocks from you.
You got it. They're going to go for Ho-Yi Allegiance. They're not going to take the Isis, but that gives it up for Denial to potentially take it themselves. And they could even go with Odin there, which is good against Athena.
Odin Isis looks good to me.
It's not a bad idea.
Bellona, okay. I mean, taking that away from Matty, but giving it back to Benji, I think is a hard call not to make.
Yeah, just give it Benji every single time. He had a good performance against it last time. What we're going to see, what's the difference we're going to see out of Matty this time?
Okay, so they take down Kumbhakarna. Odin doesn't counter Kali, but Kumbha does.
He really does. He can. The Yarn will reduce attack speed. Obviously, when she ults, you can also use your epic uppercut, take her out of the fight as well.
Right.
Very good
you
for
can
the
guarantee the kill with epic
and
uppercut.
the root as well. And the root can also impact her to force her to jump away.
There's a lot of things that Kumbhakarna does that makes Kali's life a living hell.
And Kumbhakarna, I want to say I've seen. This is the third game I've seen Shadowq play this already this season. Okay. Yes. This is the third game out of 4 games he's played Kumbhakarna so far.
I mean, he's good. People definitely underestimate. It's going to be Chronos, Team Allegiance. I like this pick a lot.
Very good against Kali, too.
Yes.
Very, very good against Kali. The Remind obviously stops her from getting the kill. At the same time as you can still find the stun against her as well, which really impacts her play.
I would like to see the Nuwa run back as well. I think Nuwa is a great pick against this comp. Super safe. Vamana gets taken away. Smart from Denial. I mean, you saw, even though Matty was very far behind, he still got a few choice plays off.
I agree. I mean, the second Gold Fury was very, very strong from him, where he pushed forward and zoned them all away. The difference is, though, is that this is even more painful for Denial, because like they've got Benji in solo who beats up Vamana, right? And they're like, okay, so we beat up the Vamana, let's beat up something else that he's not going to be as good at and put more pressure on him.
This is likely a Thor pick, I would assume. Given that Nasha's banned, Kali's taken, Serket's banned, they still need the jungle. Ao Kuang available as well.
Ao Kuang, he played him twice the week before. Odin.
There's Odin. Okay.
Locked in. I guess his composition, Kumbha gets locked in place. Benji forced to ult. Kali can jump out technically, but if you can catch her after the jump, she's in a lot of trouble if she tries to heal.
That's true. Nuwa, okay. Final pick, I would like maybe see Soul. I think Soul has a really good chance, especially with Vetium.
I like that call, especially with a Kali on the team too. So you've got that balance of physical and magical damage.
Soul is banned, excuse me.
You're terrible at this.
You followed up on
I was
her.
supporting my weak caster. Anhur locked in to go alongside it. So Anhur against Ho-Yi. I think that's the matchup we're going to be seeing a lot of this season until another patch hits. Ho-Yi versus Anhur.
Yeah.
Because the fights are fantastic between them as well.
Final pick for Team Allegiance, likely looking for their solo laner here. No, I'm sorry, that's Odin. Oh, they're looking for jungle. Well, it could be DaretoCare and Odin.
It could be Des. I mean, Des played Odin plenty of times before. He's probably not going to be supported. I don't think we're going to see that solo up against Bellona, I want to say. Will we see that?
It's not a
possible.
great pick.
Bastet, so it is going to be Odin solo.
Wow, okay,
Athena
so
support.
Bastet is going to be your pick. A curious pick to me. Kali doesn't care about Bastet. Bellona doesn't care about Bastet. Kumbhakarna certainly doesn't care about Bastet. And Nuwa can just take to the sky and ignore her completely. I wonder what DaretoCare's thinking here, because obviously they have a strategy coming in, and I can't wait to see it unfold.
Let's see what plays out with this one. Denial early on, going to head into the side of the jungle and actually see Incon coming the other way. Incon gets that ward down early, gets pinged out immediately by Vetium and Shadowq there on the left-hand side. Right-hand side also got warded by Allegiance, so 2 early wards at those mid-harpies. Do you expect to see Allegiance go for the mid-harpies here with Bastet?
I mean, Bastet's clear is actually really bad.
I know,
Like,
but a lot of people underestimate, overestimate how much he does.
She actually has one of the worst jungle clears in the game, which is why we don't actually see her all that much. Her level 1 jungle is some of the slowest, period. Bleed at this level does 100 damage, which is not great.
She's one of the best to invade on as well, because she'll want to take a bleed for the maximum amount of damage she can really output as well in the early stages. But then again, she can't escape then, so you just beat her down.
Yeah.
It's a bleed. So beginning of the game, they're going to do back harpies here. Mattypocket and DaretoCare. Matty probably going to take his lunge, I expect, at the beginning of this one.
Yeah, lunge 120 damage at base. Very easy to apply the damage, short cooldown, so it'll be, yeah, he picked it up. And you can see double ability used on the back camp, so I wouldn't have expected that.
So no harpies in the mid lane taken by either team yet again. Neither team feeling strong enough to invade. And surprised Bellona Collie did not look for the invasion there.
Yeah, actually, this is a pretty free invasion, knowing what Mattypocket's going to do. It was actually a quick run through the mid lane, up into the top side. A curse bot by Bellona would have guaranteed that kill pretty cleanly. Skeeledon coming into the mid lane is Kali, facing off against the Bastet. Now, Bastet, the one thing that she has over Kali is her poke is much, much better.
The ability to disengage as well is fantastic from the pounce. Is just one of the best abilities in game, honestly. It used to be even more OP than it is right now.
I miss it.
Do you remember when it used to give immunity?
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, there was a point in time after Bastet got reworked where if you activated Pounce again, you would jump back, but it would also break any form of CC that was currently on you, including silence, stuns, mezzes, anything.
Good times.
What a week.
Good times. That was when I first learned the game as well, you know, and I was like, why does nobody play this? And a few weeks later, everybody was playing it.
Yeah. Yes, they were.
Start the game, though. Right on the Harpies and left, already down for both the teams at the moment. Gold. Small advantage with Denial at the moment, as you can see on the charts there. There's a Boars available on the right-hand side. And look already, Benji stealing away Allegiance's Boars.
I like this. I mean, the way that he's been playing, how aggressive he's being, taking away this experience, this is why he's getting such a big lead. Also, another great shot from DaretoCare, helping clear the way and getting shots onto Skeeledon. They're going to be moving into the jungle on left side.
Bit of a difference this time around for Allegiance, though, because they had pressure in mid last game, they had pressure in duo last game. At the moment, they've got it, but I want to say Allegiance's duo lane a little bit squishier. Well, not squishier, but harder to actually get that full clear on against a Kumbhakarna and Anhur early on.
Forced back. DaretoCare attempts to make a rotation, but stuck under their tower was Denial, so DaretoCare comes back just to get some experience in the mid lane.
I'm going to say this game's going to go all down to Skeeledon versus Lassiz. I want to say if Lassiz can get the rewinds off at the right time when Skeeledon's looking for him, or if he can get the stun and damage off just at the right time, that is where we'll see Allegiance find the win this game.
Lassiz is one of the few players that I credit really understanding Chronos, and a lot of that having to do with the fact that he can rewind very well. Bastet rotates over to tickle Benji.
And
Mattypocket.
They're bombed by Matty, though, but not so bad. Could have been a worse situation.
Doesn't even burn his ultimate. No panic.
They're still hanging around. They're looking for either another wave of experience or more
big.
poke onto Benji. If they can find the poke onto Benji with a bird bomb. But look, Skeeledon's here, and DaretoCare doesn't realize it just yet. He will now as he blinks in. And now Skeeledon going to be trying to help out Benji in a worse situation. Ring forced by Matty. Skeely's rotation was just at the right time.
Skeeledon didn't hit, or rather, I'm sorry, DaretoCare did not hit level 5 in time, didn't get the cats off. And then after that, he started with the bleed. He didn't use the open wound passive. What you want to do is you want to send out a lash, you know, the nine tails, or declawed, whatever you want to call it. You want to send out a jump, something to start the bleed and then hit it for that extra 25% damage. Sending the cats out would have likely gotten that kill as well, but too little too late. First blood still on the table.
Well, balls on the left were taken by Allegiance yet again. They're still bullying this duo lane of Denial. Allegiance kept the pressure up in the early stages and last game and done the same thing this time. One thing I was surprised about is Incon choosing to use that skin.
What?
I have a feeling that the charge up of Athena on that skin will make a lot of noise, which will give away where you are.
Adonis said the same thing, but how could you arrest people if you're not in uniform? That's entrapment. That's illegal.
But she doesn't arrest people.
Yes, she does.
She taunts them.
Right.
That's not
and then she puts handcuffs on them, and then someone hits them really hard and sends them back to the police box.
She doesn't put handcuffs on.
Yes, she does.
That's a different game, Diem. You're playing rude games, not Smite. Right-hand harpy's going to be
took that in a different direction.
Lassiz is on half health here, so he's going to be a little bit careful about a potential
nice
jump in,
shot!
Shot onto Xenotronics. He's going to get bled for that. Matty's going to jump over the wall, look for the bird bomb, but doesn't find it. Good news is, though, they get the harpies.
I don't even care about the damage. The fact that he was able to hit the creeps and Xenotronics to stop him from going to the steal was such an incredible play for me. Left side camp's already down. Benji rotating into the jungle looking for back camps. And he has more than enough time, and he's going to go for it. He'll be clear. It's another big win. You see this level advantage isn't that big, but he's these little tiny victories. Let's actually head over to Mattypocket right now.
Yeah, look at the experience difference there. He's about 50 XP per minute, which isn't nothing.
Yeah,
Isn't
it's
something
really
to shout
not
out about.
it's not that big.
It counts.
It does. Oh, it certainly counts, but I expected it to be bigger with how much he's taken away.
I think the big difference, though, is that Odin can full clear the wave with 2-1 combo. Vamana struggles a little bit more in the early stages. So he's not really lost much farm being pushed into the tower like he did last time round.
Mattypocket able to walk away from that one. I'm pretty sure he got at least 2 of those.
Experience is about the same still, so I'd say looks about right for the time being. This is game 2 of today. Don't forget, we still got one more game to come later on, as it's going to be Envy up against Saw. So we'll get to see Saw's first iteration to the Pro League as well.
I'm really excited to see how Baskin and the boys have shaped up over the last couple of weeks. Going up against Envy, too.
Yeah. Cyclone gets a penta last week. Then they add Mask to the roster this week. Oh, that's going to be a barn burner. Do you miss that phrase?
No.
You don't miss it?
That phrase isn't allowed on Twitch.
Okay. What about on YouTube? Is that allowed?
Yes, it's fine.
It's allowed on YouTube.
It's fine on YouTube.
Okay.
I wonder how Envy will fare, by the way, not having a major shot caller anymore.
And that's the question that we'll find out today, I guess, later on. Right on side, though, Pounce comes out from DaretoCare. Pounce's back as Skeeledon stuns Mattypocket and puts a bit of pro pressure on there. Mid laners at the moment, though. Chronos gone for the Doom Orb has Lassiz. Meanwhile, Xenotronics gone for the Helm, as we've seen more often than not. Would you not want to see the Helm on Chronos here just for the protection against the Kali?
Doom Orb into Book of Thoth into Warlock Sash.
You greedy.
Into Hide of the Urchin.
Into Benji's in a lot of trouble with the kitty cats chasing down as well.
No!
Oh, he's going to get away! The Athena was ulting in, but he didn't want to take more tower pressure. And in the end...
What?
Denial get out alive.
That was first blood that DaretoCare just threw away.
Was he worried about tower pressure?
I have no idea.
I mean, he took one tower hit and then immediately pounced back out with Incon coming in with the ult as well.
I mean, all he had to do was let Athena land.
And then pounce back out. Or walk out.
Yeah, just walk out. He would have been fine.
So they drop first blood at the moment. Now DaretoCare comes mid, gets hit by a yawn, gets hit by, I was going to say a burst, but immediately pounces away from the danger just in time. So the clay minions return to poking down Lassiz.
Actually doing a fair amount of damage.
2 points into that.
People underestimate how much damage those little guys do.
Also shreds magical protection as well, which is a thing a lot of people don't realize. Sometimes they just burst them immediately, but if you let them hit on them a little bit, even more.
Xenotronics level 9 right now, looking to get to level 10 as soon as possible to get that second level of fire shards online. Left side to Oceans trying to make the play. Suns were used, but a good deterring pillar should spell the end of that rush.
Interesting fight between these two as well, especially with Vetium looking towards Devourer's gauntlets here in this build.
Yep.
So going for the extra sustain in this one. Got the Warrior Tabby online already, so his
be
power
Soul
spike
Eater.
is starting to come to an end as Transcendence is coming online for Oceans.
Skeeledon able to get out of there thanks to the Destruction ult. Shadowq throws down a Mesmerize just to lock them down as well.
Like the call from Mattypocket, I'd like to see that Matty's making the rotation ahead of Benji now. It used to be the other way around last game anyway, and now Mattypocket turns up. Benji doesn't even realize it has no teleport available right now, so a free Gold Fury for Allegiance.
Good play. Throwing those cats down to tank, doing a ton of damage. Mattypocket immediately jumps in as well. A sharp spike down, but it's likely to come back up pretty soon as you see Benji not only proxying the wave, but getting a lot of damage on this tower in the meantime.
Yeah, he's going to run out of minions now. With Matty returning, he should be able to take the tower down, but he will lose a boar as Vetium gets a good impale off on to Oceans, forcing him to leap away. Good little play between those two hunters back and forth, but Vetium with a little bit of an experience difference, generally down to that Gold Fury more than anything.
Another boar stolen. Benji likely the top earner in counter jungling this season so far. See, he takes away yet another camp.
That should
on
be
the
a
right
stat
side.
in fantasy.
What?
Counter jungling should be a stat on fantasy.
It should be.
And you actually get minus if you get invaded.
Yeah,
I like that. That's a good idea.
$1 million idea. Someone give Hinduman $1 million, please.
I don't want $1 million.
I'll take it.
I'll take £1 million. Is that okay? It's like 1.5.
Where are you going to put it?
In a pocket?
There's no way you'll be able to carry that around.
English bank account, how about that? I'm not going to put it in an
That's
American
weird.
one. You'll put it in a hedge fund or something, I'll lose money.
See, American banks don't allow us to just put weight in there for no reason, let alone that much.
Oh, you said, oh, that was pretty
there.
good.
Yes, thank you for
Sorry, I
finally
finally got the fact that you were trying to insult me.
It's not an insult. You guys pay with weight. It's fine.
Root comes out from Shadowq after taking a lot of poke pressure. Incon didn't manage to find any more of that. Cats were forced, though, by DaretoCare to get away from Skeeledon.
They got stunned, too.
He was looking for aggression on Kali.
They need to probably kill these things because they're just going to do damage. There they go.
Everyone forgets how long they last. That's the issue. Like, I'll just run away.
10 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm. Long. Is it 10 or is it 8?
I think it's 10.
Jump in from Skeely, gets the stun off on Lassiz, forcing the rewind. Now the burst was good, but a full health bar for Lassiz, and Incon is now here as well, and Skeeledon's in a whole world of trouble.
Finally get the first blood. A little bit too slow on the timing. That would have been crazy.
It would have been death. It would have been close.
Oh, actually, no. He only has level 2. He's been leveling Mez. He was fine.
Surprised that he leveled Mez, actually, over the throwback.
Yeah, that's curious. He did take a level in Epic Uppercut at 9, which is good. You never want to see that not taken.
The funny thing as well that we're actually seeing out of supports nowadays, like we saw Gab starting to max shield first.
Right.
For some of these things, the shockwave. Now we're seeing the likes of Kumbhakarna maxing the yawn over the throwback for the damage.
Well, I mean, I think that's how Kumbhakarna originally was as well. People really favored that yawn.
They did, but then once they realized that throwback could clear a minion wave and it's outside, even if your hunter teammate is bad.
Yeah, that's true.
That helps, you know? You could just like put somebody weaker in there, get the throwback online. But investing in this, the Mez lasts so long, Diem. So long. And it's still not as good as it used to be.
I'm pretty sure that one went to Allegiance. Right side went to Denial, so a 1-for-1 mid split. Shadowq goes right to the back line, missing the Mez though.
Skeeledon just happy to just jump in every single time his Kali burst. It was DaretoCare there who pounced onto Skeeledon's face.
They were ready.
And ended up losing that trade.
They were ready. As soon as he hit the ground, Skeeledon immediately stunned him. And then Xenotronics follows that up with the Clay Minion explosion from Shining Metal for another stun and even more damage. But Allegiance still has a slight advantage here in gold. You'll notice almost 1,000 gold as we go to the grass just to catch everyone up here. Experience difference still slightly in favor of Denial. Again, we're looking at Benji for that, level 14. Mattypocket getting a lot of on-the-job experience this game.
Not sad from Denial at this stage. I mean, you've got late game with Kali online. We've all seen how dangerous Kali can be the longer this goes on.
Sunder on solo.
On solo.
Hey.
Technically, he can Eagles rally and then fire the Sunder at the target for free, and that'll allow Kali to shred that target.
That's true.
So it will benefit the team as well, I guess. It's the way I'm thinking about that. But, I mean, does he need anything else, technically?
I would say no.
Against the enemy team, there's nothing that's...
I mean,
sprint could be useful against...
Yeah, they don't have a sprint, which is actually extremely useful against this squad. I probably would have preferred a Frenzy, especially considering they have Nuwa on the team, who uses it better than anyone in the game.
I can feel that. One thing to note as well, actually, looking at the two support players here, Incon versus Shadowq, I didn't mention it in Game 1, but both of them go for the Sovereignty. Obviously, with the new patch, we saw an increase to the aura of Sovereignty. Instead of 20 physical protection, it's going to give you 30, and now Sovereignty is now back in the meta, quite clearly. Straight away, back to the same old support Season 2 meta.
Shadowq placing a Sentry Ward in the lane to counter the vision that was put down. Very common ward that's put down. Decides to take control there. Left side, Gold Fury still down, but still trying to control the area. DaretoCare, they're going to make the play here, I think.
They forced the bees to bleed. There's the kiddies. The leap is currently down for Vetium. Does he have his ultimate available? He does, but he's not going to panic to use it. The sun's run down as well. If he would have used his ultimate there, he probably would have lived because the cats would have died quicker.
He was very greedy to not use the ult there. The ult would have cleaned them up quite quickly. And instead, he winds up going down with Gold Fury coming up and their Hunter being dead. It's a possibility that Denial won't have a chance to rush in and control this area.
Xenotronics under pressure mid lane. Didn't get hit by that bird bomb, unfortunately. He didn't manage to go off from that, but the yawn from Shadow, as he spots the Gold Fury being done, does he have Blink available? He does. But I say he's not got it available. 20 seconds on that. Epic uppercut, though. Maybe the Gold Fury reset. No, Allegiance get the Gold Fury, and Kumba's going to go to sleep.
Mattypocket, very smart to use the bird bomb there. There was a mistake by Allegiance by resetting it the way that they did, and there was almost a steal because of the way Shadowq rotated it in. Incon thought he was walking away and put his back to the enemy support. Still, winds up working out for them. Mattypocket's rotation was great. In fact, it continues to be good. Eagles rally in place. Must be crazy. Still might be able to escape all the way to the back line. Hungry as hell. and he gets it. Ocean's going deep for it. Will find a kill, but he's going to go down.
For it, though. He dived in, he leapt in, got disarmed, which was really smart from Benji to disarm him for the in-hand. And that just set the team up to turn it around and pick up the extra kill. They also got Lassiz in that too. And now they can turn this, look for DaretoCare and the tier 1 tower mid.
Skeeledon did not go into movement speed first. He goes into the chin size that we've seen be so popular, and as a result does not have the movement speed enough to catch up.
Allegiance with a lead after taking the Gold Fury, but that fight afterwards just allowed Denial a little way back in it again. Closes the gap once more.
Yeah, we had like a 2,700 gold lead, and now
5 and 5, right?
shrinking it down. Yeah, it's much lower.
Very, very much lower indeed. And Denial, though, the longer this game goes, I keep saying this, we've said this time and time again because there's a collie in the game now. Everyone's starting to realize how strong collie is.
Oh,
and I tell you what, Kumbhakarna against kitty cats is something that Bastet hates.
Those cats, they're not going to get much done there. They'll force Xenotronics back.
Especially because Shadow's maxed his yawn as well. Like, max yawn, the cats go to sleep immediately. You don't have to worry about him.
But Dare did still manage to control the area long enough to get the red buff back for his team. What is
greedy
this?
To the back's going to use his purification and pay the iron price.
That was crazy. Why are they even there?
I think that was just Skeeledon not realizing the rotation was coming. They didn't have any wall coverage. They're going to lose the red buff off that as well. Xenotronics still in mid at half health. Has to be careful here.
He's in a weird spot because backing now is going to allow a major amount of pressure in the mid lane. And Chronos, of course, one of the characters most notable in the game for pushing towers down. And they're going to go for it. Level 4 activated on that acceleration.
Blink. Yon comes out from Shadowq trying to save this tower, going to get the roof, and Lassiz, who took tower aggro there, gets hit by the epic uppercut to reduce the damage that Shadow was going to take.
Not enough.
But they're still going to lose the tier 1 tower after an ult and a blink was used.
That tier 1 structure will answer back what they've lost in the mid lane. Allegiance continues to burn their lead back as you see a 2,500 gold lead thanks to not only that tower but the earlier kill onto Skeeledon. And there's been a lot of times in my cast where I see a kill happen where I thought, okay, if there was a ward there, they probably could have got away. If he had done this, you know, there was no chance. There was no option for Skeeledon in that situation because the fact that they were in that situation, the fact that Allegiance had pushed down the left side the way they did was completely uncanny.
Mattypocket just uses his lunge there, and that's why you see Skeeledon looking at it, but the ring immediately to stop Skeely being able to get in. He's going to jump into danger, though, to support Benji, who eagles, rallies away. Skeeledon trapped in the ring, but knew the timing, so he's going to get away.
Nice dodge.
Avoids the bird bomb, but look at the rotation from Allegiance.
Lassiz, decent damage as well. He will not find the stun. Skeeledon should be able to escape here, of course. No fire shards available for that team.
Blink. Going to go for the bleed, drop the cats onto Benji is the call here, and he will get the kill. The yawn was a little bit too late, as was the bludgeon to stop the kiddies from finding the kill.
With that, it looks like Allegiance should be able to get down this right tower pretty cleanly. Xenotronics rotating over, but I don't see him having the clear. All the while, no one is dealing with Vetium in the mid.
You're going to see a root come out from Shadowq. Yawn will buy time. Rewind has to be forced by Lassiz, who was taking aggro. They're still got the aggro he has. Shadowq gets the epic uppercut off, being focused down, will fall. The tower stands, however, but Oceans versus Xenotronics and the whole of Allegiance.
Xeno just barely getting that off. Very smart play. Rotation over from Skeeledon, goes for the stun. We'll be able to hold it down. Left side, let's take a look at Vetium here.
Just farming. Yo, he's showing tricks. Look at those tricks.
Learned that at Worlds.
Did he?
No.
I'll tell you what, Oceans didn't learn that at Worlds. He wasn't even there, but he just managed to pick up Skeeledon on the right.
Oceans was at Worlds.
Was he?
No, I have no idea. Right side. That was
what
fun.
was that?
April Fool's Day tomorrow. I'm getting ready.
We're not going to do April Fools.
Isn't that like, that's
You're
your birthday
a fool all
too,
the
right?
time. I don't need you to carry on
I
doing
celebrate April Fools until June too.
Till June?
Yeah. It's a 6 month in America.
Just
I don't know.
Stop. Just stop.
Left side, no one is controlling this guy. He winds up evening out the gold loss there for Denial.
And for me, Denial had the advantage there. Like, that's the left-hand side of the map, the furthest away from the fire giant. We always talk about how the left-hand side is the most vulnerable Phoenix to take if you can get the opportunity to do it.
Yeah.
They've just won that engagement just by Vetium split pushing.
And, yeah, look at that. Down, right back up. 3,000 gold, though, for Allegiance and 3,000 experience. Mattypocket most notably having a much better game than he did in Game 1. How did he manage to do that?
Do what?
I don't know. I thought he did the throwback from one range and it like went straight. That was weird.
He's OP.
Kumbhakarna. Oh, it was camera
Tricks of the mind, Diem, tricks of the mind. One big key here, though, of what I'm seeing is Denial are not fighting as a team right now. They're going in, they're getting picked time and time again. Instead of grouping up, that's where their strength lies in this composition, is the group up of this team. They can shred through the team as a whole. They've got Bellona, they've got Kumbhakarna for the front side.
Oh.
And now they're trying to find a response to the left. To
I like this ultimate, doing some damage and killing the cats as well. Incon's here. Vetium should have his ultimate, or rather his jump up just in a few seconds, but he's taking a lot of damage.
DaretoCare forcing the pounce out as well. Epic uppercut used by Shadowq to create some space for Xenotronics to get a good burst off onto Oceans, who is Carly's target. Keep an eye on that for Skeeledon now as well, as they're now going to see a 5v5 fight.
Wow, this is actually a pretty good space for Mattypocket to be. He's going to lock someone down. Right to the back line. Benji cares not for cages. Goes right to the back, finds a kill cleanly. Will be answered, though.
I'm okay with that. I'll lose Benji for their Hunter. That's a fair enough trade for me if I'm the Denial roster right now. Gold Fury is available, being started here by Denial, and Shadowq on zoning duty. Very, very good at it as well as Kumbhakarna, dodging out the abilities from Lassiz as much as he can. But the team gets taunted into an awkward position. Vetium gets a good impale off onto Matty, but Matty's nice and tanky as the rewind comes out from Lassiz. Lassiz is here and looking for beatdowns.
A greedy Skeeledon barely escapes death by not using his ultimate, trying to save it. Shadowq throws back into the side of the wall, and Vetium not in a great position. 6 seconds before the jumps up. Shadowq to fall, and I would assume the Gold Fury is going to follow suit.
Completely see that one coming, as well as Allegiance are now in control of this game. And for me, Benji played that really well. He baited Mattypocket into bringing him to his team, got the ult off, found the kill and the carry, but the response from Denial wasn't good enough. They went for the Gold Fury, but they didn't work as well as a unit. Incon got a 3-man taunt.
I feel like Shadowq is trying to zone in that situation in a way that we would normally see a Bellona zone or a Vimana zone. He was putting himself directly in the line of danger, trying to look for a Mesmerize.
That's okay, but the thing is that he only hit one with the Mez.
Right, exactly.
All 3, fine.
He didn't hit the Groggy Strike. He put himself completely out of position. The team got baited into a choke point, and then it was just like all kinds of stop times and craziness.
And that was the key there, because Shadowq gets a yawn off on 1. Calls to his team, says, guys, I've only got 1 pin. Lassiz is coming, because Lassiz stepped forward, coming towards him. The team respond, as does Incon, with that big 3-man taunt, and then they end up getting cleaned up because of it. So, Allegiance looking better this game. I think this is more, for me though, it's more Denial making very, very rookie mistakes of like not playing their composition.
I really feel like Allegiance is playing up right now, and this is probably the best that we've seen them play so far.
I can agree to that.
But I also feel like Denial is making, like you said, very rudimentary mistakes. I want to go back to that Skeeledon death at the Boars. There's no way that they should have been there for that kill. And I feel bad for Skeeledon, because there's always a way that you could avoid death. Yeah. But in that situation, it's just like...
Why were you at balls?
None of that made sense. It was a very strange mistake. And I feel like it was probably very similar to how Lisa Dole felt when AlphaGo beat him in the first game in that Go competition, because he was, the AI was making very strange moves. That was a strange move, a strange call.
Was it strange though? Because nowadays in the Pro League, everyone lazy backs, and everyone has started to exploit that more. I've seen more and more lazy backs in the past 2 seasons than I've seen in ranked games. And I think nowadays people are getting caught more. We saw it over in Europe, a few people getting caught by a lobster, where a lazy back getting picked off once or twice as well. And that's just, I think that's just the standard now, where people like, they got Gold Fury, but let's just see if someone's lazy backing or trying to take a camp, and that's what they found Skeeledon.
11-4 for those of you who are just joining us. We have a 6,000 gold leader, very close to it, as well as almost 7K experience as well, with no level 20s on the board. So Allegiance in a very good position, but remember,
it's Carly.
Carly in the end game. She's level 14 at 21 minutes. Woo.
It's a Carly with a Kumbhakarna and a Bellona that can set her up nicely, as well as
but
the big
14? You want to be 20
that's a big key.
By 22 minutes. And that's the goal.
I think that's what Denial's goal is here, is to now hang on and hopefully get Skeeledon finally online. 1-3-1 has Chins, has Fatalis online, but missing those vital levels that will increase your abilities as well.
Left side tower to fall. Allegiance taking another structure off the board in the final tier 1. They're going to look for another tier 2 as well. Incon going in, going to find 2 and get the purification.
He's in a lot of trouble there. Gets hit a lot. Avoids the bird bomber, the leap away, teleporting from Benji. Should see Allegiance back it up a little bit.
By the way, that was an ultimate burned, as well as at least 2 relics. This is actually 4 5 relics are down right now for Denial. Allegiance have complete control over this side of the map right now. I want to see them make the play. Get those cats in there.
To Benji. Benji being focused, stunned, but it gets his ultimate off. Only really hitting Incon. The extra protections will help out his team, however, on the front side. But Matty doesn't care. He's going to ring in 4. Back away. And they're poking Shadowq. One of the only men that can't escape. Taunted in. Epic uppercut from Shadow. Will hit onto Incon, which forces the tower to actually reset aggro.
And still, 2 ultimates available. Incon has a free health bar. I would have liked to actually see him back and ult in here.
I think he can get one more taunt off at least before he has to go for that. Matty's going to zone. Incon will sit there with him. They'll get a tier 2 tower for free. And look, there's a taunt onto Xeno. Gonna get his purification as well. Stunned was DaretoCare there by the clay minion fire shot combo just as he came in for the kill.
He's stunned. No, he's not. Purification available. And Mattypocket, no! Wow! Not going to get the cage off in time. Lassiz does not rewind quickly enough.
Got bursted by Xeno very, very heavily there was the big kick. Skeeledon want to give a chase with Xenotronics here, potentially with that minion wave. They're well aware of it in Allegiance. They're still going to take the balls and the exit strategy here back to the safety of their own half.
And there really isn't anything that Denial can do to follow up on that death. I mean, if they take a Fire Giant attempt at this stage with a free back coming, it's just not going to be safe. They can try to push down this tier 2, but honestly, I don't think they have a line to much here.
Damage charge you can see is both the mid lane is followed by DaretoCare, who, to be fair, didn't have a great performance last game. Stepping it up now. Transcendence being worked on. Actually finished with 23 stacks online. He's gone for the full power pen build on this Bastet, and he's making it work.
Next up is going to be Crusher, most likely. Although
the backdoor option.
There is a fair amount of healing. It's possible that he avoids it and goes into Brawlers.
See if he goes for the beat stick in this one. The anti-heal will help out, especially against Skeeledon as well.
I would prefer the Crusher personally.
Just look for the split push all down.
Just because Bastet makes you hate your life. And at very least, he can tilt them like into the sunset.
And if you sit over on that left-hand side, realistically, we shouldn't be able to see a Bellona kill a Bastet unless you make a rudimentary mistake.
No, Bellona can't catch her.
And the best thing about that is Mattypocket. Did you get an invite?
I did.
I got one too.
No, come on. It was for me.
No, it was mine. Why would you? Who would invite you?
Really?
Who would invite you?
Oh, so many people.
Who? Name 3.
Jason.
Born?
Yes. Him and I used to do missions together. And since there's 3 movies, that counts as all 3.
Incon onto Vetium, who's under pressure, evaporated! And the actual shield wall will get credit for that kill. No purification available. You're going to have a bad time.
Where did he go?
To the base. To the fountain. To the same place that Jason Bond comes from, as the tier 2 tower falls down in the mid lane as well. 13-5, Allegiance extend their golden experience lead some more.
No more towers available for Denial. They're 10,000 gold behind, and their carries are just not high enough level. 18 for Vetium, 2 levels behind. Shadowq, 5 levels behind. Xenotronics only a level. Skeeledon, that's going to be 3, and Benji is even. So a pretty ginormous advantage for Allegiance.
And Gold Furies is 4.
That's true.
That's insane. 5 Giants may actually be won very, very soon. Return to base for Allegiance here for the most part, just to spend some of that hard-earned gold they got from those objectives. We tune in with some build options coming out here. Polynomicon just can be completed, I believe, by... Sorry, not completed by Lassiz. He's already got that online and had it for a while, looking for that Ratatouille.
Let's check the graphs as another thing falls. You're going to see 10,000 gold. Actually, and I'm not trying to talk them up or anything, but Denial is actually ahead of where they should be. With 10,300 gold, with 8 kills separating them, Allegiance should be about 1,200 gold higher than they are, given what's been taken for them on the map so far. So Denial, still pretty decent farm. The issue is they're 10,000 gold behind, and Allegiance is going to force them into a fight that they don't want to take. It's going to be a Brawler's beat stick, so no split push potential and no Crusher on the board at all, as it looks like he's going to go into full CDR to finish it up. DaretoCare picking up Breastplate of Valor.
Well, here's the story, though. Allegiance's composition is all about picks. However, they're the ones that are grouping up more and getting a proper 5v5 that's working out for them more than Denial should be doing with their whole teamfight composition here. And if Allegiance just keeps playing to that strength, they're like, hey, we keep finding picks, example 1 in point here onto Shadowq, then why break what's not broken?
They can't focus on Shadowq. They've got to let that go. They're focusing too much in the backline. No, Lassiz will be able to rewind.
Taunt from Incon will hit both of them, and Skeeledon will fall down too. Benji, under pressure, has his ultimate available. Will have to use it to disengage. Xenotronics hiding in the fog. Vetium at half health.
Missed.
The clay minions will spread some time, but the Shining Metal missed, and Xenotronics had to Sanctuary. He's still going to fall down to DaretoCare, though, as now Vetium being pressured all the way back to base and taunted. Benji did cheekily manage to pick up DaretoCare there, and they're going to look for the Phoenix in mid.
Phoenix should go down pretty quickly, actually, as Mattypocket jumps back. Vetium in no trouble as he's able to jump away as well. The Fire Giant's still available as the bird falls, and it looks like that's going to be the next sign from Allegiance. They all rush down the right side.
Straight towards the Fire Giant. There is 3 of them here right now, I want to say. No, there's 4. I lied. They
Where are
were
you
hiding
going?
together.
Lassiz?
Farm, right on side,
No,
I guess.
no Fire Giant? We're
No
done
Fire
with
Giant
that?
shot. DaretoCare's dead for another 28 seconds.
That's true. It's the only Xenotronics is down. Skeeledon is up. Only level 16, however.
I like what Allegiance has done. They've just realized that Denial haven't played their comp.
Yeah.
And just been, well, let's play what we should do. Blink. Forcing the Purification. They've got Vetium in support here for their gank attempt. Epic got to avoid. The stun was very good. Impale does not connect from Vetium, though. And Mattypocket's here with a ring to say, no, boys, you had your chance, and you failed.
Yeah, the comms are probably very somber right there as Vetium throws away what should have been a guaranteed kill due to a small, or rather large mechanical error, missing it just barely. Lassiz counting his lucky stars that he ran that one out.
You just picked the right option of right or left, and Vetium missed.
There's an old baseball idiom called run it out. Whenever you hit the ball, even if it looks like it's going to be caught, even if it looks like you're going to be out no matter what, you run as fast as you can, because if the enemy or your opponent makes a mistake, you get on base. And right there, Lassiz put his all into that. Despite the fact that he should have been dead, his opponent made an error and he got a hit.
If you don't try and run for home, you'll never get home.
Unless you're carried, I guess. Right, Incon? Yes, that's 2.
Wow, 2 shots at him in one day?
That's 2. He soloed me in lane today, so.
That's not hard, though.
Yeah, come on.
We saw that loads of times. Anyone tuning into the stream on any given day could see that happen.
Come on, man.
29 minutes in, Allegiance are in control. Denial, though, well, they've lost the Phoenix and they're not giving up just yet. The problem is that they're looking for a pick, and it's on to DaretoCare, who's just pounced away. Benji going to throw out the Scourge. Vetium was around here, but not here in time. The Fire Giant, honestly, if Denial get it, they're back in the game, especially with the comp they've got.
See, I don't think they're back in it completely. I usually equate Fire Giant buff to about 5,000 to 6,000 gold.
Fair play.
There's still be a pretty decent lead for Allegiance where they could just sit back and let it, whittle down.
Well, I mean, there's 3,000 gold on the map for him to take on tier 2 towers as well.
That's true.
So it should even out, but in the jungle, we're going to see Allegiance torn onto Benji. A lot of pressure on him, forcing the ult away.
Important.
But they invested a lot into... Well, I say they invested a lot. They didn't invest anything. That was just base abilities.
Those were taunts and bird bombs and delightful little weeaboo lashes.
I think this had a very good impact in this game for Denial versus Allegiance, both games so far. Incon's played it well. Shadowq's played it well. Incon going to try and zone out Shadowq here. They're not going to taunt him.
Mattypocket needs to ult here. That's all.
Instead, the ring comes down from Mattypocket to separate Incon under pressure, pinned, alone, surrounded. Still, they're trying to focus him down as the rest of Allegiance look towards Shadowq and find the kill.
Ocean's in some trouble here as Skeeledon trying to get some damage off. In fact, he's going to find a kill. That's going to be 1.
There we go.
This is what Kali does. Very low. Xenotronics and Vetium's grouping together for another one. DaretoCare able to attack Vetium.
And you can see the rewind going out from Lassiz to reset himself back to safety, but Xenotronics picks up Incon.
Wow.
Lassiz trying out with Xenotronics. The Sanctuary was used and he'll fall down. Lassiz looking for a double kill here. Eagles Rally was back up and gets Benji away, but still Lassiz giving chase. One more ability should be it. No,
it's too
avoided.
Quick. He's too quick. Accelerate should be coming up in a second. Lassiz going all the way for this one, but it's not going to be enough.
Skeely's behind him, doesn't have rewind. Skeely jumps away from the stun, gets hit by the damage, turns it, stuns back on. All available. Not going to find it. DaretoCare's also here. Lassiz committed.
Oh
Lassiz.
my God, Lassiz
Gets the delayed double kill. Give him Chronos. Give him Isis. He's really putting the effort in to try and carry this team.
I want to point out that he also has a wing blade in this build, so it's not even full damage. There's a wing blade in this build. And that Polynomicon is just hitting people for 450 damage. And of course, it's Lassiz. His accuracy is incredible. Barely misses any shots. Just incredible play. So with that, only 2 people from Allegiance actually get out of that fight alive, and it's going to be Bastet and Lassiz on that Chronos with the Fire Giant.
Honestly, overall, I'd be more disappointed if I was Allegiance there. Even though Lassiz picked up some kills, the Phoenix now respawns in the mid lane. The Fire Giant wasn't dropped by Allegiance either. Yes, they got some kills, but this just buys Denial more time. Worst thing of all, Skeely picks up a kill or two there.
Yeah, and getting experience at this stage is very important. You can see the katanas being picked up, 1,000-fold blade after that, and then right into the stone-cutting sword. Granted, I think it's 300 and then 1,600. So I think he needs 1,900 gold left to finish this item. Let's check gold in hand and see just how far Skeeledon is away from being able to carry. And
3,286.
It's pretty low.
He's got to wait a little bit longer before he can try and carry. Golfio going to get taken by Allegiance, however. Continue the gold lead in their favor. DaretoCare on this Bastet. Finish things off with a Breastplate of Valor as his final item. Full penetration, full damage into a breastplate for some extra defense against Vetium and Skeeledon for the most part.
That full cooldown reduction allows him to reapply these bleeds over and over. Get those open wounds going as much as possible. And of course, extra attempts at cats for backdoor protections on, you know, wrecked sieges, I think is really helpful.
Well, Allegiance looking for the middle Phoenix once again. You can see Skeeledon off to the right was trying to get a little bit of farm, but now with the whole team of Allegiance in mid lane, they have to be on defense duty. Mattypocket will probably be the forefront leader here, and Incon will just be looking for the taunts off it if they can find it. If they can create a gap here for Oceans and Lassiz just to poke at this Phoenix, they should get it for free, but they've got to be careful about the re-engage from Denial. They have that Kumba, they have that Carly that could turn this fight on its head.
I really feel like Denial has the better strategy overall in terms of actually playing the map, but it seems like Allegiance has the better chemistry and the better trust for team fights, which is why we're seeing them do so well in the kill department.
There's a yawn and blink from Shadowq there to put the pressure back on them. Vetium did use his Purification taunt on cooldown. DaretoCare gets some good poke off onto Shadowq, but Benji goes in, gets some poke down of himself own. Eagles rally gets dropped, but he's ringed in. Benji makes the mistake.
DaretoCare credited with the kill, first one to fall. Skeeledon going back to heal, still has his ultimate available, but the mid-bird falls going right to the right side.
Could be a little bit greedy looking for this one, though, especially with the ring being down from Mattypocket. Shadowq on the front side here. Going to try and get the groggy strike off onto Incon, who gets hit by the follow by Vetium into an impale. Incon trying to ult away, going to get away to safety for now. Still in tower range, taking poke. Skeeledon gets Incon. Now he's looking for the next one. Collie is here.
Lassiz rewind back to full health and right into the danger. He throws out a perfect stun, able to find a little bit. Trying for damage here. Shadowq likely to fall. Wait, no blocks from the... Oh my god, it's not worth it. He still gets it.
Vetium is here against Lassiz, though. Sanctuary used to avoid some of the damage. Lassiz trying to get away to safety. Has no rewind available here. Realizing what's going on, Mattypocket teleports back in. Bird Bomb connects with two. Ring on Vetium, who leaps away. Xenotronics isolated, and Oceans is looking for the pickup.
He didn't quite find the double tap. Ocean's in a lot of trouble here. So we see Skeeledon, forced to jump away. Look at this, Mattypocket right to the back line. 3-man Bird Bomb gonna find a kill. DaretoCare picks up one, Oceans picks up another, and it's gonna be Benji versus 4 as the right side Phoenix gets pressured again.
Has the Eagles rally available. Phoenix being pressured down here, but no one's really high HP. Oceans has been isolated here. No support from the teammates. He gets picked off. Benji gets credit for the kill against the world. Now he's looking for Lassiz, who doesn't have rewind either. Benji the full minion wave with Incon coming in. Benji's still looking for the pick with the Scourge. Not going to find it. Going to get torn. Shadowq respawns and joins the fight to help Benji.
Oh, man. Benji, a few positional errors there. Might be able to escape here. Incon going real deep. Dash up in a second here. Shield wall. No, he didn't hit it. It was slightly off the mark.
Another body box from Shadowq with the root, trying to keep Incon pinned under the tower, under the Phoenix. Not going to find the kill he was looking for, though. Allegiance do not get the right-hand Phoenix is the big talking point of that whole engagement.
Yeah, an actual amazing defense, especially from Benji at the end there. Not only holding them off, but finding a few kills. But there's no one even remotely close to this Fire Giant. Going to go right back into Lassiz's hands. Let's actually hover on the mid laner for Allegiance here as he takes some damage from the Fire Shards, and you'll see just how much damage he's about to have.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage from that Fire Giant as well. We've got to talk to these players sometimes, you know. It's been a year.
It has been a year.
It's been a good year by now, guys. Come on. 25 to 11. You can see Lassiz stat line there, 7, 2, and 13.
And look at the damage. 719. He's about to pick up a red buff as well.
Red buff a lot more valuable to a major mid lane than a Fire Giant for the amount of damage you'll give you.
Lassiz waits there. He knows he can't rush right after getting it, so he decides, okay, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to wait until my stop time is back up. That way I can ensure I don't take any damage from it. Lassiz was almost dead, and now by using his Accelerate, the Fire Giant buff, a little bit of that life steal. He's right back to full health.
Honestly, with how this game is played for Allegiance, there's multiple members of this team that I want to give credit to. DaretoCare's had a very quiet but good, consistent game.
He's 7-1-13. It's absolutely the best KDA on the board.
We've been very, very quiet about what he's done in the game for the most part. Lassiz in mid has hit some big abilities, lots of damage, chase people down, and Incon's taunts have been on point.
Yeah, all of Allegiance has played very, very well this game. I think the only notable mention on the maybe not perfect game has been Oceans. He's 6-4-10. He's still playing amazingly. I just think everyone else on Allegiance is a step ahead, which is strange because last week we were saying the opposite.
Very, very true indeed. Allegiance, though, looking to assault the left-hand Phoenix here. Middle Phoenix about to spawn. Skeeledon trying to clear up those fire minions that are pushing in, but with DaretoCare there, that Phoenix in mid should fall relatively soon. As soon as it starts flashing, it'll probably drop immediately.
They'll probably let the mid go in favor of holding out right.
Taunt on left-hand side, going to hit onto 2. Xenotronics use the Purification there, so they're going to be on cooldown. Reset from Allegiance for a second, but Shadowq not allowing the reset, going to blink and yawn.
Yeah, he's controlling the backline pretty well, but he didn't actually get anything there. Xenotronics forced to use Bees and Sanctuary to get away from that one.
Both of those now on cooldown, so keep an eye on Xenotronics. Incon will be looking for him again. He'll have to fire shards preemptively as DaretoCare pounces in, hits Shadowq, forces the yawn from Shadowq too. Incon gets a taunt again onto Xenotronics, but support from his team will keep him alive. Incon drops to half health, and Skeeledon, you can see him half health.
He's trying
to defend the middle Phoenix.
He's trying. The creeps are already in. Is he able to hold it off? Just barely. As you'll see, Lassiz rotating right in. Polynomicon, one shot to the bird, and it falls.
Bird down in mid lane, 38 minutes in the game. Allegiance grouping up on the left-hand side. Lassiz still in mid, though, and Benji going to push him way, way far back at the moment. Rest of the team, though, definitely looking for Xenotronics will be the pick here, especially with Sanctuary and Purification currently down. However, Vetium's Purification down as well.
Pushing in. Right side Phoenix available if they want to go for it. It's going to be left still. Xenotronics gets taunted again. Good control in the front by Shadowq, but too little too late. Stuck inside the cage.
Jumps away, just Skeeledon there. Shadowq still alive in this one at the moment, as Benny did good work with the Scourge to disarm and pounce in from DaretoCare the back. Missing Shadowq, not going to find the kill. Fire shards are raining. Fire shards will get down. Incon Benji against 4. Impale from Vetium's good. Vetium has to leap away, though, from the damage coming out from the bleed and Lassiz. Skeeledon and Xenotronics combine to pick up DaretoCare. Double kill for Xenotronics. The Phoenix still stands, and Allegiance are down to 3 men.
I can't believe they're holding this off. So much of this belongs to Benji as well, being able to get to the backline repeatedly, force so many ultimates out on him. Like, really, you don't want to be wasting that much on a Bellona. And then, of course, Shadowq getting locked in the cage was perfect bait. They try to invest so much into the 2 tankiest targets. And then, of course, no one was able to even burn Skeeledon's ult.
But here's my annoyance with this denial composition. When they've fought in teamfights 5v5 straight up, they're winning them on defense. If they would have done this earlier in the game, this game should be more in their favor by now. It's Allegiance that have played it well, and finally denial. Well, they're starting to realize what that composition's about, it seems, and then making it work.
Incon sells off something and picks up Mantle of Discord for a bit more control. Now sitting at 25% reduction.
Good ring from him there, just to try and relieve some other pressure. The clay minions will do some work. Only Vetium could actually reach the tower from there. They will get the tower, but it'll stop them pushing any further.
And the longer this game goes, the worse it is for Allegiance, because yes, Lassiz is strong, but he's not getting any stronger. Whereas Kali is most certainly getting stronger.
And you can see the damage charts. You can start to see the climb of the Denial members up on that list slowly, but surely they're starting to climb up there.
Great fire shards in the last engagement. Not only got a kill, but set up another kill for DaretoCare right afterwards. This ensures that Denial is showing you that they are playing this game as well as they can. And the defense so far has been unbelievable.
The defense has been the best part of the game from Denial for me.
I think this is the best defense that we have seen in a long time.
At least a year.
I mean, it's...
I'd say Cloud9 versus all TSM EU was probably the best defenses.
That was
crazy.
It really was.
That was a long time ago,
or
though.
Cloud9 at Worlds against Epsilon?
Yes. Yes. Or
they should have lost
against
that
Cloud9
game.
as well. Yeah, there's loads.
They should have lost that game.
26-13, though. 50% more kills in favor of Allegiance right now. Fire Giant has spawned. Wall control in Denial's favor as Incon taunts Shadowq. Shadowq should be focused here. If the ring's available for Matty, which it is, you should just ring him in and look for the pick onto the support player who has no escape.
Yeah, he was forced to use his ultimate there just to get away from the stop time. Right side,
Oh,
trouble for
Vitium's in
Vitium.
trouble.
He does
He's
not
already
have his
leapt.
jump.
Already leapt and now pinned into an awkward space. DaretoCare gets credit for the kill. Pounces back to safety. Benji gets a Scourge off onto 4, but without a carry available, has to use his Eagles Rally away. Being chased down by the team.
That is the second ultimate used to stop the stop time from stunning them. Lassiz has been locking people down with no Eagles Valley and no epic uppercut going into this right Phoenix, expected to go down very quickly.
Good fire shots from Xenotronics to stay alive. Shadowq goes to the backside and gets a good yawn off to slow down Allegiance's reinforcements. They're trying to backdoor the Phoenix here at the moment, but the defense is good from Denial once again. Mattypocket has to leap away. Skeeledon did some good work there, but still manages to survive. Benji forcing back Allegiance again.
This guy is untouchable so far. Mid Phoenix about to spawn. It's possible they get the respawn and Fire Giants up.
Fire Giants up, and that's where Allegiance are going to go. And what we're going to see here, Fire Giant go to Allegiance, then they'll take mid Phoenix, and then they'll lose a fight at one of the other Phoenixes. It's been the story of the game so far.
Do they get the Phoenix though? Can Shadowq get there in time?
We'll find out.
Or Fire Giant
Shadowq.
rather. 3,000.
Go
No, it's too late.
Benji in the back though with teleport is here, but they're not going to find it.
A little bit too slow. Next time they'll be there on time.
Will there be a next time?
If history serves. Yes.
Find out in the 75-minute long game of Allegiance versus Denial.
Stop. There's no way anyone's breaking an hour again this season.
You sure?
No.
You calling now?
No, I'm not. Like, I'm not.
That's some sort of bad April Fool's joke already.
But, wow. Over double the kills right now. Allegiance still has about 15,000 gold. We're going to start seeing those 3K pots.
We're going to start seeing people sell items and pick up other ones.
Wait.
Talking about that, we just saw Xenotronics sell an item.
Can we see Lassiz, please? One more time. 995 damage. He has that red pot online.
Thank you so much.
1,000 damage.
So what happens with his passive when he actually turns that into in-hand damage?
Well, he gets 45% of it, so let's consider it half. So 500. His
Per in-hand?
Yeah.
Plus Polynomicon.
Plus poly. So the first hit,
Is it
unmitigated, should be about 1,300 damage.
If you're going to let Chronos get late game, you're going to have a bad time. However, you're going to let Skeeledon get late game on Kali.
I was about to say,
But
but
also,
Kali doesn't care how much damage you do if you don't rewind.
do you remember at the
fast
start of this game when I said it's going to be Lassiz' Chronos versus Skeeledon's Kali?
Yep.
I think that's what's going to happen in this game.
The only difference in experience right now, Shadowq level 18 at 43 minutes. Incon, of course, has been level 20 for quite some time. Mid Phoenix has respawned and is getting as healthy as it's going to be. Incon taking a lot of damage, and the Phoenix still alive, but it's going to fall here.
Oceans' Sons tried to zone out, didn't really work out, and they've actually pinned Benji into an awkward spot. Benji got poked low, but
dead.
still alive inside. Kill him, guys!
There he goes.
They will
There
get
he
him with a
goes.
bleed from DaretoCare. The ring lasts just long enough to keep him pinned in. And so the Phoenix in mid will finally fall, but guess what? We're back to the left and right Phoenixes again.
All of the members of Denial went right to the right Phoenix without thinking about the left side. It gets taken down immediately. Shadowq out of position, takes a lot of damage in the back line. Skeeledon's trying to make something. He does not have the damage.
Rewind on Lassiz, though. That's an important key. Skeeledon does get away.
He didn't
Fire
use his ult.
shards used. And now we're going to see... Well,
That was
there was a new war there,
auto
guys.
attack.
There was a new war there. That,
That
was a
was
single
ace.
auto attack. We said how much of poly... That wasn't even without poly. That was without poly. Look, poly.
I think that was
without poly?
no. I think that was Poly. I think that was Poly.
That's
It had to have been
insane.
Poly.
Shadowq, body block to high heaven, trying to keep his team alive. Incon tacking up a lot. Going to yawn out some members. Incon got very, very low there, but the bulwark's going to pop, give him a shield for a little while. Cats have been dropped to remove backdoor protections. Ring
Shadow stuck.
goes down from Matty, as does Shadowq. Any second now.
Dude, I mean, wake up, dude. It's the SPL. You can't just be taking naps.
You are sleeping. Skeeledon going to be forced back. Vitium gets one hit by Lassiz to half health again. Turn to Skeeledon, Purification Force, going to pop his ult. Looking for the pick onto Lassiz, they're not going to find it though. The boys of Allegiance make it 1-1 in the SPL. Game 2 for themselves. They slipped in the first game, but my oh my, did they come back in game 2.
There is no discussion in my mind that Lassiz is not the player of the game for both of those games. I mean,
I agree.
Even when his team lost, the amount of control that he had in that game was incredible.
Really, really big plays from Lassiz in that one. Overall, though, 1-3 is the scoreline for Allegiance. For Allegiance so far in the Pro League. And meanwhile, Denial go to 3-1.
But a good split is important here because it shows that Allegiance can compete with some of the bigger team names. Denial was expected to be a top 4 team, and they're fighting into a team that was considered a bottom 4 team, and they're splitting. That's good news for everyone who's a fan of the Smite.
Show me some of those Lassiz plays. That's what I want to see right about now, because he had a great game, and well, this was towards the end of the game, for sure. 31 minutes in, and he forced the ultimate. That's all we need to know. He forced the Elmont on Skeeledon, and that's all he's got to do.
And he walked away from it, which is really important. Skilly actually got the reverse later on by forcing Lassiz and getting out. But once you are stopped, even a little bit, if Kali doesn't stay on someone's body, the ultimate's useless.
Well, attempt 2, just like attempt 2 of Allegiance trying to take the Phoenix on the left or right.
Is this the...
Oh, the slow-mo! Slow-mo! That was...
Can we do that one more time?
Do it again, do it again.
Can we do that one more time?
Rewind.
What?
Slow.
My God, man.
Balanced. That's late game, guys. That's just late game for you. That's what happens when you get 50+ minutes in a game and there's a squishy character versus a squishy character.
Wow.
Insane.
That was an incredible run. Allegiance having an absolutely brilliant game in Game 2. Let's actually talk to someone from Allegiance and see how they thought they did as well. DaretoCare's on the line. How you doing, Dare?
Doing all right, Diem, Brennan. How you doing, man?
You know. Also, I can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, you're really quiet. We're both twiddling thumbs.
We got it now. How you doing, man?
You got it now?
There we go.
Doing all right.
So the
guys doing well
Bastet
today?
pick. The Bastet, very surprising to me. I didn't think it was going to work, and you crushed that game. Tell me about it.
The Bastet pick for me was something that would just apply a lot of harass on Kali early game. Get a lot of poke. She's really weak already. Get a lot of poke in the Nuwa as well.
Yeah.
Keep them down. Have a lot of mobility. Make sure, Kali doesn't execute me.
So
That's terrible.
Game 2, Mattypocket a lot more successful than Game 1. Tell me what the switch was. Were you guys trying to focus more on the right side? Did Matty not get as much stolen?
From what we realized from the first game is that they had a lot of pressure onto the solo lane. So basically I switched it up a little bit, had a little bit more presence early on in the solo lane instead of dual lane to make sure that he got his early blue buffs and to make sure he didn't get behind in his pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of true because, Game 1 they had the Athena for the rotations as well and the new War in mid lane for the globals to influence him as well. So Game 2 you kind of switch things up in picks and bans and it seemed to work out a lot better for you.
So tell us a bit about your new sponsor. Allegiance joins the Smite fray, a newer team on the block. Tell us a little bit about them.
Allegiance is a team that is actually formed by some previous Halo pros, I believe.
Yeah, some really famous dudes.
And then they picked up some really famous Halo players as well, and they're looking to expand their brand. Really cool guys. Really like what they're doing.
And they placed second in the Halo finals, yeah?
Yes.
And now you guys have big shoes to fill now. Second in Halo finals.
Unfortunately, those are some definitely big shoes right now.
Last question for you
trying
then,
to improve.
Before we let you go is you guys are going to have to face up against Enemy next Thursday is your next game, I believe. How do you feel you're going to do there?
I feel like we have a lot of potential as long as we try to work our consistency. Our shot calling has been kind of conflicted, and we've been trying to improve that a lot, so hopefully we'll actually give a showing next week.
I think there was a very significant difference between Game 1 and Game 2 shot calling, and you guys keep on that trend, man. We could definitely see in the top 3. Thanks for hanging out. Any shout-outs before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout-out to Matty for really improving over the last few weeks.
Seriously.
He's been a really good dude.
I can agree with that.
Seriously, the dude steps into a role he has no experience in and winds up being in the pro league in it. That's really impressive stuff. Shouts to Matty.
He gets band focused as well.
Yes, he does.
That's a big step.
Yes, he does. Yeah, okay, so let's take a look at the schedule. Allegiance Denial is in the book. We have another set for you guys today, which is going to be Team Envious going up against Soar.
I've gone split here.
You got a split here?
I've gone split. What have you gone?
I got Envy 2-0.
You got Envy? Really?
I got Envy 2-0.
No, come on.
I got Envy. I think Omega can deal with Baskin, and Cyclone's going to be Cyclone.
But you've got Mass, who's new to the jungle on a new roster, so they're going to have to get used to the new jungler.
So you said Mask is going to feed his brains out, and they're going to go 1-1?
I didn't say that, but you did.
I didn't say that. I said they're going to win 2-0.
No, you just said what he said it.
We'll be back in just a little bit with this.
No, we won't.
I think Hallmark game.
It's Heft on Adonis, it's not us.
It's fine. Stick around, guys.
Peace.